The next topic we're going to take a look at in math are circle graphs. If you remember, before the school closure, we were working with angles and we did a little activity with M&Ms, and there was the last part about using your data and creating a circle graph. A circle graph is a graph that represents data using sections of a circle. And then a sector is a section of a circle that is formed when two radii and the arc of a circle connects. So here, this would be one section, also called a sector. For this example, school is one sector, recreation is one sector, homework is one sector, and so forth. A couple of things to keep in mind when working with circle graphs. A circle graph shows how each category of data compares to the whole using percents. So the circle graph would represent a whole, and then you have percents for each sector. So a circle graph always adds up to 100%. Circle graphs are easier to interpret when there are a small number of categories and when the percent values are not too close together. I'll go through one example working with circle graphs. Here we have a circle graph that I believe there's a boy named Omar. This is the example that's in your textbook, and this is the time he spends on different activities. So 30% he spends at school, 20% he spends recreation, so sports and doing other activities. Eating is unknown, we don't know what the percentage is. Sleeping is 35%, and he does his homework for 10% of the time. For question 1, what I want to do is determine what activity he spends the most time doing. Looking at the circle graph, you can see that he spends the most time sleeping, 35%. So we have 35%, and there are 24 hours in a day. When you're working with percentages and you need to solve questions, make sure you change the percentage to a decimal. So if you remember, when we are working with percentages and we want to change to a decimal, just move the decimal place 2 places to the left. So then we have 35 hundredths multiplied by 24, 24 hours in a day, is equal to 8 4/10 hours, which is also 8 hours and 24 minutes. The 24 minutes comes from looking at the tenths, so 40% of 1 hour, which is 24 minutes. Next, we're going to take a look at hours spent at school and doing homework. So we're going to kind of follow the same step, but now we're looking at 2 different sectors. So for school, we have 30% of 24 and then we have homework, which is only 10% of 24. So I'm getting the values just from the circle graph. So school, we have 30%, and then for homework, we have 10%. Next, all you have to do is add up the hours for school and for homework. I'm running out of room, so I'm just going to do it up here. This is just going to be continued. So we have 7.2 hours plus 2.4 hours, which is equal to 9.6. Also 9 hours and 36 minutes. So when you're looking at that again, 60% of 1 hour is 36 minutes. And then for the last question, it's asking for the percentage spent eating. So this circle graph, it doesn't give the percentage for eating. What you can do is add up all the percentages. So we have 10%, 30, 20%, and 35%. And it should add up to 95%. Since we know that a circle graph is always 100%, we take 100%, subtract 95%, and your answer is 5%.